Right, let us move on to this story from Brazil. Prosecutors in the country have opened an investigation into a surge in deforestation and fires in the Amazon. On Wednesday, Brazil's environment minister was heckled over the record number of fires in the Amazon. Let's take a look.
Minister, you have the floor.
So you can clearly hear the booing there, right, as Ricardo Salles gets up to speak. Protesters also held up signs saying things like the Amazon is on fire. And let me bring you what's just come into us in the past couple of minutes from AFP, from the French President Emmanuel Macron, declared the wildfires an international emergency. Well, this is what he and so many others are concerned about. There's been an 80% increase in the number of fires in the Amazon compared to the same time last year. To show you a graphic that shows you actually the density of smoke spreading right across the country, so from the Amazon in the northwest down to the Atlantic coast. And the country's populist president, his name is Jair Bolsonaro, at first he appeared to suggest that the fires could have been started by NGOs, by non-governmental organisations, as revenge for a cut in their funding. On Thursday, he denied saying that and added that the government lacked the resources to fight the flames. Because I want to also bring our viewers a tweet that came up. This is Greta Thunberg. You will know her, the climate activist, very young, who's currently sailing from the UK to America to attend a UN climate conference. Now, she says, even out here in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, I hear about the record amount of devastating fires in the Amazon. My thoughts are with those affected. Our war against nature must end. And there's been this huge social media response, really, to this particular story. Let me bring Daniel back in. Why is this? Why do you think this story has captured global imagination?
Well, for one thing, the Amazon is always a sensitive issue for everyone around the globe because it is one of the very few remaining forests of this size, and it is important to keep global temperatures. But there was an interesting phenomenon this week, which was that many cities across the north of Brazil are used to having their skies being dark during the afternoon and the morning hours because of these wildfires that happen in the Amazon. This week we saw for the first time that same phenomena happening in São Paulo, which is very far away from the Amazon, and it is Brazil's biggest city, where all the media is, the international media, where all the big national debates take place. So there was a big talk in social media in São Paulo and across the globe because people far from the Amazon are seeing what the effects of these fires can actually have.
And Daniel, may I ask you just briefly, what is the state of the fires right now? Are they being contained in any way?
Well, there isn't a lot of containment being done because they're in very remote areas, and most of this monitoring is done by satellite. So sadly, the answer is no, nothing is actually being done.
The risk of flooding and landslides. Now, here's a place where they could really do with some rain. South America, particularly Brazil and Bolivia, where wildfires are burning quite widely, giving issues with poor air quality as well. Now, there's not much in the forecast that's going to help that situation. It stays largely dry across these parts of South America over the next day or two. Fairly breezy at times as well. A bit of coastal cloud close to Rio de Janeiro, with some rain here, highs of 22 degrees.